I feel like I travel pretty frequently and I'm the brokest bitch, so I got you. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the thing that we all love to do, is traveling, and how to travel when you are broke as a motherfucker. So I have a few tips, I guess, on how to travel when you're broke, because I would know. The reason I'm making this video is no one's really asked for it. No one really asks for me for videos in general. But a lot of people I know have directly or indirectly commented on the fact of like, dude, you travel all the time. Like, how do you travel all the time? Because we're all kind of one and the same. They know my job. They know that I don't make a lot of money. They know that, you know, whatever the case. So I kind of took that information in and said, you know what, I'll make a video about it on how to travel when you're broke, because I am broke as fuck. I'd show you my bank account, but that's embarrassing, so I'm not going to. I will put a little disclaimer, I guess. Most of the time when I am traveling, it is with my family. So luckily I was blessed with the fact that my parents, or my mom, has a good job to where she can pay for our vacations, you know, usually once or twice a year. So a lot of time when people do see me on vacations, I haven't really paid for it, but that doesn't mean that I haven't gone on vacations and paid for myself when I'm broke and somehow survived. So this video is how to travel when you're broke. So one of my biggest tips on how to travel when you are broke is to travel with a big group of friends so you can split the cost. So when I do travel, I travel with my 4 other friends. So that's 5 of us, and if you split the cost wherever you're staying or if you're eating out, basically the main point of traveling with a big friend group in regards to it being cheaper for you is what leads into my second tip on traveling, which is your place of stay. So if you do want to stay in a hotel and you split that with your 5 friends, you guys all cram into that room, look at that. Way cheaper than if you were just going by yourself or with one other friend. But my tip is still splitting the cost, obviously, but at an Airbnb. So Airbnbs are so much more cheaper than hotels, especially if you have a big group of friends. If I were to get a hotel for the 5 of us, I'd have to get 2 rooms, and I'm paying 2 separate costs. It ends up being way more expensive than if I just get one place with 2 beds and a couch, you know, whatever. And we have the whole place to ourselves and we split the cost like that. What each of our parts are to pay for the Airbnb ends up being literally like the cost of a night at a hotel. So Airbnbs win. Just look into Airbnbs. And there's so many pros to it as well. They're really fun because it's your own place. You know, you don't gotta worry about like security or like any whatever. My third tip is to plan accordingly. Plan your vacations accordingly. That way it is cheaper, okay? If you are not planning accordingly, it's gonna be a bit more expensive. Obviously everyone loves a good spontaneous trip. That's fine, go ahead, do it. But if you actually want to budget and you actually want to, you know, not spend so much money, but you do want to have a good vacation, plan accordingly, plan in advance. Look at all your options. When you have time to plan, you can look at multiple options to find the cheapest option instead of a spontaneous trip. Fuck, we need to book something, let's book this one even though it's expensive. So planning accordingly is a big part of traveling when you're broke, and saving some money on that. Also, when you are planning accordingly, again, you have ample time so you can look at different dates. Obviously, different dates are gonna be cheaper than other dates. You can do some research on whatever place you're going to, if it's more popular to go in the summer or if it's more popular to go in the winter, and you can see that, oh, if I actually, you know, wait and I go in November instead of June, it's gonna be way cheaper because it's the fall time, but it's still gonna be beautiful there because, you know, it's, you know, a tropical island or whatever the hell you're going. So again, when you're planning accordingly, you just have ample time to look at all your options, to research flights, to research dates, to research Airbnbs. You have ample time to find the cheapest option for each part of your vacation. And that goes along with activities to do there, restaurants. Again, it's just if you really want to save your money and go the cheapest option for a vacation but still get like the whole experience, plan accordingly and have ample time to do your research and, you know, book certain things. My fourth tip is to budget while you are on vacation. I know it is very tempting when you're on vacation that you want to just go to the coolest restaurant and you want to do the coolest activity and you want to go fucking skydiving and spend all this money. I don't know how much skydiving is, it's just an example. But you need to budget on vacation, which goes back to my last tip on, you know, if you plan accordingly, you'll kind of already know all of this and you can plan your activities ahead of time. But let's say you didn't, you know, or you want to do something different that you didn't plan while you're on, you know, vacation. Obviously, if you are traveling to a popular city or island or wherever you are going, it's going to be very expensive to eat out because it's gonna be a tourist area. So you can budget in the sense of, hey, we're only gonna eat out a couple times. We're gonna try the places that we wanna try. Maybe you can get coupons, I don't fucking know. It's very tempting to want to eat out every time you are on vacation, but you can still have a wonderful experience and wonderful vacation without having to eat out every single time. So, you know, go to the grocery store and buy a few things and just, you know, buy a pizza for that night for dinner instead of going out to this extravagant restaurant, or even something that's not extravagant but it's gonna cost you a lot more than just buying, you know, an extra large pizza for you and your friends. That's basically all I got on budget. I mean, like I said, the budget kind of goes hand in hand with the last tip in regards to just planning accordingly. That way you can budget your money when you're there. It's kind of more about going out. So, you know, pre-game, if you're going on a trip where you're gonna be doing a lot of drinking, if you're going to Vegas or if you're going to some popular city where there's gonna be like a lot of drinking involved, the bars are, everything's gonna be more expensive when you are out. The drinks are gonna be more expensive. So pre-game, buy a fifth and have a good ass time before you go out, so you are kind of budgeting your money. So once you're out, you don't have to buy as many drinks, aka you're not spending as much money, and you can use that for something cooler. And my last tip is an obvious tip, and that is to save your money. Obviously that's a given. I just figured I'd throw it in as my last tip, which goes along with planning accordingly. If you give yourself ample time to plan this vacation, you are gonna give yourself ample time to save your money for the vacation. All these tips kind of go hand in hand, but again, if you plan accordingly, then you can give yourself a deadline. You can give yourself time to save your money. You can make a little schedule and say, you know, I'm gonna pull out this amount of money, you know, every week or every month to go towards my vacation, and that way you aren't stressing and your vacation's stress-free, and then you can use the other tips that I gave you to help along, you know, vacationing on budget. All in all, if you plan accordingly and you do vacations right, you can vacation a lot. You don't have to be bougie, you know, you don't have to be extravagant every time you go on vacation. If you want to genuinely just have a vacation and have a good time with your friends and be on the beach or whatever it is you want to do, you can do that very cheaply. If you save and you don't do the most, you know, you don't have to go skydiving, you don't have to rent a boat. I mean, I don't know what people do, but you can have a wonderful vacation with doing the bare minimum. Again, if you want to be extravagant and you want to be bougie and you want to do a bunch of things, then you're obviously going to have to plan accordingly to that. But I'm kind of making this video in regards to just traveling, just getting out there, just seeing places and doing the bare minimum, just trying new foods here and there, and maybe going on a hike or something through a place, you know, just doing the bare minimum of just literally getting to see a new place and getting to experience their restaurants and their nightlife and just experience that city or that island or whatever. So you can do that frequently on the bare minimum and still have a wonderful time. Obviously it is all preference. I'm okay with doing the bare minimum. I'm okay with just exploring a new city and not doing much besides, you know, living there. But that is it. That is all I have for traveling when you are broke. If you like this video, maybe I could do like a part 2 and come up with some more tips and ideas in my brain. But yeah, so give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed and you learned some tips on how to travel when you're broke. Please subscribe if you have not already. Turn on the bell to get notified every time that I upload. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. I'm getting sweaty.